need to get this primary crystal into the crystal mount, and there we have it. Oh, damn power field conduct fails again. Oh, God, I hate this stupid thing. Oh, I hate this thing. Maybe if I just tweak it a little bit so the hand grip... Oh, God, okay, that's on fire, that's on fire. That's alright, that's cool. That's cool, lightsabers are meant to burn. And, okay, yep, the crystal's cracked. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see if I can just sew that back on.
What's all that racket? Lawrence, what are you doing? Oh God, are you seriously trying to build a lightsaber again? As I've said many times, you need the Force.
Oh, you see, Borbertos, that's where you're wrong. I've actually created a system here where this forge device will build the lightsaber for me. All I have to do is, put the crystal in.
Do you want me to do it?
Oh, I've got a choice. I guess BioWare wants me to choose. That's very odd. Well, I don't want Borbertos to go out of his way, so is it necessary? Is this necessary? Listen here, you little shit. I've killed more things in this universe than you could ever possibly comprehend. I've killed more Wampers alone on Hoth than you ever will. I am the reason that the Wampers are considered to be almost extinct on that desolate planet. I've engulfed entire cities in my name. I am idolized by those who I call friends, and I am feared by those who I call enemies. Whose side do you want to be on, Borbertos? So to answer your question, no, I don't want you to do it, you pathetic mongrel of a fool. I am the Messiah, the Lord of Death. I can and will kill you. But the true question is, Borbertos, are you necessary? Oh God, my head. What the hell was that?
Jesus, man. OMG, just do it yourself.
Borbertos, I'm sorry, that wasn't me, that was the stupid devs. Oh, for Christ's sake, BioWare again. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's LorOnline here again today with another video, and today we're going to be doing the top 10 best Star Wars The Old Republic companions.
Starting with number 10.
Coming in first on our list today at number 10 is one of the best companions in the game by far. I'm sure a lot of you will agree here when I say Lord Scourge. Now, Lord Scourge was the original Emperor's Wrath, serving as the Emperor's personal executioner for 300 years, and he was around at the same time Revan was, so they of course have some history there. Now, I don't want to spoil the character too much, because those of you who haven't done the Jedi Knight campaign won't know much about Lord Scourge, but he has a very interesting backstory, and his association with the Emperor makes him even more of an interesting character. So I suggest actually doing his companion side missions. There are 7 of them, and they are all associated with his backstory, and of course going and destroying the Emperor. And I don't want to spoil anything, I don't want to tell you the outcome of that, but it is very interesting, so I suggest going to do the Jedi Knight campaign and finding out for yourself how Lord Scourge actually functions as a character. Now, for those of you who want to know the analytical stuff about Lord Scourge, if you're going through the Jedi Knight campaign and you have him as a character, if you want to get him up to level 50, you want to be giving him weapons and military gear. Those are the 2 sort of things he likes the most. And in terms of crafting, he gives you plus 10 in archaeology and plus 10 in artifice. So those, of course, bolster him as a companion significantly if you're out there trying to build up your lightsabers. He is a very interesting character. He's been around for 300 years and has a really diverse backstory, so I suggest giving him a try if you're a Jedi Knight and you really want a cool-looking companion.
Number 9.
Taking 9th spot today on our list is one of the coolest companions of all time. I think most of you will agree when I say Bowdaar. Now, he is the coolest companion of the Smuggler campaign by far. He has a really interesting backstory, and I know this may sound surprising, but he has spent 180 years in slavery. During this time, he has fought in many arena death matches and has won 10,000 death matches. That's right, this Wookiee is one of the buffest in the galaxy. He has earned titles such as the Killer for Kashyyyk, Death Mountain, and Bone Shatter was the other one. So it's pretty fair to say he is one badass Wookiee. Alright, let's go over the analyticals. This Wookiee is a pretty big fan of weapons, so if you're going to get him a gift, get him a weapon, or you can get him a luxury item, or a cultural artifact. And if you want to do a crew skill with him, it's plus 10 scavenging efficiency and plus 10 cyber tech efficiency. So they're the 2 things you're going to want to do if you're going into crew skills.
Number 8.
Number 8 on our list today goes to Vette, who is the Sith Warrior's first companion. Vette is number 8 on this list because she has one of the most interesting romances in the game by far. She's a funny, quirky character, and she's really easy to get along with. And if you're into the deeper RP aspect of it, she is just a very interesting character with a very deep and personal backstory. She has a really intricate family, stuff going on with her sister and mother, and there is all this stuff going on with these known associates from pirate gangs she used to be a part of. It's just very interesting in general, and I think that's why I like her so much as a companion. On top of all of that, she actually has you go to planets like Nar Shaddaa to indulge further in her backstory. So she actually has engaging quests, which I think is really cool about Vette. A couple of other companions do have this, but there are the odd companion that doesn't actually have these quests where you actually go and physically do something. With Vette, she has an intricate backstory for her quest, and I think that is also another reason why she's definitely at number 8 on this list. As for analyticals as well, she is a huge fan of luxury items. You wouldn't expect that from a Twi'lek from Slavery, but she is definitely into the very luxury, high quality stuff. So if you're going to go and give her companion gifts, it needs to either be luxury, you can give her weapons, and she's usually alright with that, but she does really like underworld goods as well, which you would expect considering she's usually part of the Syndicate background. And in terms of crew skills, she's +5 in treasure hunting and +5 in underworld trading.
Number 7.
Seventh on our list today goes to the Trooper Companion, Aric Jorgan. Aric Jorgan is best known for being the leader of Havoc Squad. That does of course change throughout the Trooper campaign, but I don't want to spoil too much. But in summary, he is considered to be the Republic's most capable field officer. He enlists in the military at an early age and quickly finds himself as the talented marksman of the group. He is considered to have impeccable services to the Republic. He is the top sniper in the squad, and unlike a lot of the other characters who are dismissed at Knights of the Fallen Empire, he has a really long story that incorporates the entirety of the Fallen Empire storyline. So there is a huge section, a whole bunch of chapters associated around Aric Jorgan and Havoc Squad, so I definitely suggest giving that a try if you haven't already. In addition, he is romanceable, so you guys and girls out there that want to, get with the cat guy, then this is probably the best way to do it. So let's jump into the analyticals now. Basically, if you give him military gear as a gift, he will love you, so that's the idea there. You can also give him weapons, he loves those, and if you really like, you could give him some courting items. He tends to be a little bit indifferent about them sometimes, but sometimes they're his favourite, so, there's a little bit of a mix there. In terms of crew skills, it's +10 arms tech and +2 diplomacy, and that's about it for Aric Jorgan.
Number 6.
Number 6 on our list today goes to one of my all-time favourite companions, and there may be a bit of bias here because I'm a true Empire player, but this is KHEM Val. KHEM Val is the Sith Inquisitor's first companion, and he is really badass. He is a Deshade who was around during the time of Tulak Horde, so that was around 5000 BBY. He served as his personal servant, and to have a Deshade as your servant means you have to be a pretty badass Sith. Because for those of you who don't know, Deshades don't just serve anyone. Not only that, but KHEM Val as well is very linked to the Sith Inquisitor storyline in general. There are a lot of quests that actually incorporate him personally, and there is this whole mix-up with your master as a Sith Inquisitor and the Deshade himself. So, there is a real cool, intricate background there, which I don't want to spoil for those of you who haven't done it, but I'd suggest making a Sith Inquisitor and trying out KHEM Val as your main companion, because it is incredibly interesting. And that's basically it for KHEM Val, and that's everything I kind of want to say, but he does get really interesting in game. I'd definitely suggest giving him a shot. But in terms of gifts, he prefers weapons, they're his favourite by far, and he also likes culture artifacts and everything else. Every other type of companion gift doesn't really agree with him necessarily. He tends to be a little bit indifferent. And in terms of crew skills, his bonuses are +15 artifice, which is really good, and +5 investigation.
Number 5.
Taking the halfway highlight today on our list is the ASHARA ZAVROS, the Togruta from the Sith Inquisitor campaign. Now this companion I generally think is going to be a little bit of a surprise for some of you, but the reason I like this companion so much ultimately is because she was a Jedi Padawan who defects to the dark side of the Force. Now I can't really say much more than that without spoiling it, but I really enjoyed having her as my companion. She's really cool. She's sort of innocent in a sense, but at the same time when you start turning her to the dark side, you definitely see this change in her personality, and I like how it sort of rubs off on her, the whole dark side of the Force in general. On top of all that, she is romanceable. I personally didn't romance her, but I have seen what happens if you romance her, and she tries to keep to the Jedi Code as much as possible, but if you're a very stubborn Sith Inquisitor, that obviously doesn't happen. So she is a really cool companion to sort of romance in that sense. In terms of analytical stuff, in terms of gifts and that, she really seems to like weapons. That seems to be a very common trend with the companions I like. She also likes military gear, and she's alright with courting and items such as Republic memorabilia. And in terms of bonuses, she's +10 scythe weaving and +10 diplomacy.
Number 4.
Coming in at the runner-up today on our list is my all-time favourite companion to romance, and that is RAINA Temple. Now, RAINA Temple was assigned the rank of Ensign, and she is part of the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force on Hoth, and that's where you get her as your companion. Now, unfortunately, RAINA does have a very disappointing fact concerning her. You can actually marry her in the game, which is really cool, because there's a really nice little romance option there. But the second Knights of the Fallen Empire happens and Kotet happens, your Imperial Agent character completely forgets that she exists, which is really disappointing and unimmersive, and it does sort of annoy me a bit. So BioWare, come on, let's have RAINA Temple back so our Imperial Agents can sort of be happy again, because I'm pretty sure my character's bummed out. But very quickly before we move on, let's go into the analyticals here. In terms of gifts, she really likes military gear for some odd reason. I never really understood that. But she also likes Imperial memorabilia, which makes sense. And she likes courting items, of course. But in terms of crew skill bonuses, she's +2 armor met critical and +10 scavenging efficiency. So in terms of crew skills, you want to give her scavenging, really.
Number 3.
So coming in at number 3 today, the bronze medal goes to Scorpio. Scorpio is another Imperial Agent companion. I know I've probably got a bit of bias here because my main Loranos is of course an Imperial Agent, but Scorpio has such an intricate backstory. I love how she's thrown into the Knights of the Fallen Empire campaign and the Knights of the Eternal Throne campaign. I won't spoil anything, but in premise, she is a security droid from Belsavis, which sounds very dull, but she has a really intricate AI. And her backstory as well is really engaging. I feel really immersed when I talk to Scorpio and we sort of engage in her backstory a little bit more. But she just is such an interesting character, and there's this entire other side of her to do with the Rakata technology, which I won't go into, which is sort of explains her AI, and it just sort of improves her backstory significantly, the fact that she's considered to be this pinnacle of power in the Old Republic era. But, you know, I can't really give her justice. You guys need to go play it for yourself and definitely give it a try because Scorpio is just such a cool character in general. In terms of analytical information, gift-wise, she really likes weapons, which is no surprise. And she's into technology, which is also no surprise. So they're the two sorts of gifts you want to give her. And in terms of crew skills, she's +2 slicing critical and +10 cyber tech efficient. Now, before we move on, I'd just like to say she's not romanceable, unfortunately, but she does still have a really cool backstory, so that's why I'd suggest checking her out.
Number 2.
The silver medal today on my list, or the second place, goes to JAESA WILLSAAM. Now, JAESA was actually a Jedi apprentice to a Jedi Master, and she actually defects to the dark side when she meets the Sith warrior protagonist, who of course manipulates her into turning to the dark. Now, the really interesting part about her character is that if you're playing the Sith warrior in a light side form, JAESA will go to the light side, and the same vice versa. So you can actually change her path depending on how you treat her, how you act in general, and how you speak to other people. So this is really cool in the sense that it doesn't actually depend on how she is as a person. You change her over time and her affections will change depending on how you act. And I really think that's sort of what makes a BioWare game. And it's why I really like her as a character. Above all of that as well, she has very specific Jedi powers that are not common in the Jedi Order, which makes her stand out. I won't spoil those, but it makes her really interesting as well. Right, moving on to the analyticals here. If she's light side, she likes cultural artifacts the most, and if she's dark side, it's trophies. In terms of bonuses for crew skills, she's +5 synth weaving and +5 archaeology.
Number 1.
Alright guys, so taking the gold medal today at number 1, my all-time favourite companion, HK51. Now I know a lot of you have that nostalgic respect for HK51 purely because of the original HK47 from the old Kotet games. This robot here, this mecha droid, is considered to be the best assassin droid in the known galaxy. He is from the Circa Corporation and has so much backstory and lore. He is your general perfect assassin, and I feel because of that, he is number 1 on this list. Not only that, but he has a really cool quest building up to him. Any character, any class, anyone can have him as their companion. All they have to do is the legacy quest, which is a little tedious, but that doesn't matter at all. In terms of gifts, his favourite is the weapon, of course. You know, he's a HK droid, he's going to like his guns. And in terms of bonuses, it's +5 mission efficiency. You know, you're going to expect that too. And +1 crafting critical, which is cool too. HK51 is not your average BB-8, he is the droid for you. And there we have it, HK51 is the best all-time companion, and I hope you've enjoyed this list, guys. This one has taken a little bit longer than normal, I do apologise. I've been trying to get in all the correct editing and trying to get that humour on point, because, you know, those introduction sequences take a lot of thought to come up with. So there we have it, guys. Thank you all for watching, I really hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.